Welcome to our webinar, Rader Success Hub, How Your Student Can Connect to Success. We are excited to have you joining us today. My name is Christine Self with Parent and Family Relations, and joining me are Rachel Jackson and Lauren Belasco from the Rader Success Hub. This webinar is part of our Red Rader Family webinar series, where we share information on topics of interest to parents, families, and supporters of our students. We hope this webinar will help you know about an important tool that your student can use to bolster their success. We hope to have time for questions at the end of the session, so please feel free to use the Zoom Q&A feature to ask questions throughout the presentation, and we will get to those. We'll also share our contact information so that you can follow up as needed. We are recording this session and posting it to our website so that you'll be able to review it again later or share it with others, including your student. I'll also email the recording link to the email that you used when you registered for our webinar. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our friends with Rader Success Hub.
Good afternoon. We're so excited that you were all able to join us today to talk about Rader Success Hub. Rader Success Hub is our online platform that we recently launched with the idea of removing the limits to when and where your student can connect to their success team, connect directly to those people who are here to support their success at Texas Tech. If you were one of our parents who attended Red Rader orientation this summer, you may have heard a presentation or two about it. If you are the parent or family member of a current student, we hope that they heard information about it when we launched back in February. But this is a new tool. We're very excited about it. Like I said, it's to help us make that 360-degree connection with your student so that they can connect to all the people in all the aspects of their educational experience here at Texas Tech. Today, we wanted to talk to you about some of those key features that are especially helpful when your student comes to you asking questions like, who is my academic advisor? How do I make an appointment with the Career Center? How do I find the name of the mentor who has been assigned to me? All of those questions can be answered with Rader Success Hub. In addition, we have a feature where students can chat in questions via a live chat, or they can even sign up for text messaging and send those text messaging questions into their success team. So again, really removing the limits to when and where your student can make those connections. So right now I'm going to turn it over to Lauren, and she's going to show us what Rader Success Hub looks like for your students.
Thank you, Rachel. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is pull up the student portal. So your student logs into Rader Success Hub. This is the first screen that they see. This is their home screen. So it's really going to give a bird's eye view of appointments, of alerts, of anything that they have going on. So at the very top, we have highlighted scheduling an appointment, viewing your upcoming appointments, and then viewing your academic dashboard. And we'll take a look at the process for scheduling an appointment and the dashboard, but first we're going to go ahead and take a look at the home screen. Below that, we have a ticker or a counter. It's a quick overview of the number of tasks a student has, number of alerts, number of appointments, and any academic holds. Below that, we have some information about upcoming appointments that the student has scheduled in Success Hub. And we can also take a look at past appointments or even canceled appointments. Below that, we have the student's success team. This is going to be individuals who are assigned to help your student throughout their time here at Texas Tech. So taking a look at the individuals we have here, you can see we have major advisors, minor advisors, athletic advisors, success specialists, instructors. All of those individuals are listed here. So at a glance, your student can see who those key contacts are. they can see their email address and their office number. Below that, we have a list of tasks. Tasks you can think of as to-do items that are assigned to your student. We'll go over those in just a second. And then below that, in the footer, you can see we have some links to some of those key resources that students may use. So that may be Blackboard, if their instructor is using Blackboard for course assignments, DegreeWorks, those links are listed here. But I'm going to go back up to the top, and we're going to focus on scheduling an appointment. Typically, that's one of the features that students will use first when they get comfortable with Rader Success Hub. So I'm going to click on Schedule an Appointment. This isn't the only way to do it. As we go through the student portal, you're going to see there's many different ways to get to the Schedule Appointment screen. But I'm going to go ahead and click on this primary red button here. Perfect. And then I have a couple of options. I have a tab that's going to show me the most recent contacts, those that I have scheduled an appointment with recently. I have an Assign tab. Those are going to be those same individuals that are listed on the Success team. So the advisors, the instructors, they're going to be listed here. But let's say I also wanted to meet with individuals who weren't necessarily assigned to me. Maybe I was interested in study abroad, the Career Center. I can go ahead and look up these offices here under the Teams tab. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to click on Assigned, and I'm going to go through the process a student would if they were scheduling an appointment. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Esther Lee, an instructor of our student. And then from there, I'll go ahead and click on the topic. Then I have a list of subtopics. So the student can specify the topic for their appointment. Let's say I would like to discuss projects in this class. From there, I have a list of available time slots the instructor has. I can scroll through and find the best date and time that works for me. I'm going to go ahead and go with Thursday, October 19th from 12 to 12:50. And then from there, I have a couple of options. How do I want to meet with the instructor? I can meet in person at their office, or I can also meet virtually in their Zoom link. So I'm going to go ahead and select in person. I also have the option, if I wanted to add any additional comments, I can do so here. But I'm going to go ahead and select in person. And that's it. So scheduling an appointment really takes about a minute or two. Once I've scheduled this appointment, I will receive appointment confirmation email. If I am signed up to use SMS or text messaging, I will also receive a text message that reminds me 24 hours before the appointment that I have an upcoming appointment. So if I return to the home page, we'll give it a second. You can see that if I scroll down to October 19th, I have an upcoming appointment with my instructor to go over projects. I also have the option to add additional comments, or I can reschedule or cancel the appointment. Let's say I would like to reschedule because I would like a time that's sooner. Can go ahead and do that. I'm going to select Thursday, October 5th. And again, I want to meet in person. And that's it. So it's really easy to use for appointment needs. I'm going to scroll up to the top. And now I'm going to take a look at the search box we have in the top right-hand corner. It says search for help articles. So let's say your student would like to ask or look up knowledge articles that are related to a question they might have. So let's say, where is or who is my major advisor? Then it's going to populate some articles that are related to that question that I entered. The first one says, who is my academic advisor? I can go ahead and click on the title of the article, and then it guides me how to find out who my advisor is. Log into Rader Success Hub, view your success team on the home page, and then look at the one with the title Major Advisor. And go ahead and go back to the home page. Right next to that, you can see a profile picture. This is our student, Brooklyn Rader. And we're going to take a look at their profile. So this is where a student can opt in to utilize text messaging in Rater Success Hub. This is really helpful because we're able to text message your student and send them those helpful reminders and those helpful text messages. Also in the profile here, I'm going to go ahead and click on My Files. My Files is really cool because it's a way that students and the contacts that they schedule appointments with can share files. So if there's forms that need to be completed, if there's a form that your student would like to share with their instructor or their advisor, they can do that through My Files. So if I take a look at Brooklyn Raiders files, I can see a FAFSA waiver form that was added by a contact that I had an appointment with. I'm going to go back to the home page. And we talked a little bit about searching for help articles to those questions that students may have. But let's say I would like to submit a question and instead of a knowledge article, I would like to talk to a person. So at the bottom right-hand corner, you can see there's chat with a specialist. So students are able to talk with a specialist, a student success specialist, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And so they'll be able to speak to somebody in real time and get those answers to questions that they may have or get connected to the resources that they need. But what if a student is asking questions in the middle of the night or on the weekends? They can still utilize this chat. So what we have here is a chatbot. So you can see here, get a welcome message. I have some of those key questions that students may ask. I'm going to go ahead and select help with scheduling appointments. And then it'll take me through some of those prompts. So I'm going to go ahead and end this chat here. Perfect. And then at the very top, you can see we have some additional tabs beyond the home screen. We also have advising and registration with related links. We have billing and financial aid, and we have involvement and resources. I'm going to go ahead and go to advising and registration, and I'm going to click on academic advising. And I'm going to go here because there are some key features that students will use. We have a link that takes you to schedule an appointment because, again, we have that throughout the student portal to make it really easy to schedule those appointments. We have a link to DegreeWorks if a student needed to conduct a degree audit. We also have a link to our schedule builder, but we also have one that's titled Make an Appointment to Change a Major or Minor. So let's say your student isn't 100% sure that they want to stay in the major they're currently in or the minor that they're currently in. They're thinking about changing their major or minor. They can go ahead and schedule an appointment to have that initial discussion with the new college, the new program through Rater Success Hub. So if I'm Brooklyn Rater, I'm thinking about changing my major to biology. So I'm going to go ahead and click Make an Appointment to change major or minor. I'm going to get a list of programs. Well, first let me select major. Then I get my list of programs. I'm going to select biology. I'm going to confirm. Perfect. So what this tells me is the person that I want to contact in biology is the advisor, Tim Spies. So I have a link here to schedule an appointment. And this contact will be added so I can go ahead and schedule that appointment with Tim Spies. I'm not actually changing my major, I'm not actually changing my minor, but I'm setting up an appointment to have that initial discussion to help me confirm, is this a new program that I would like to change to? Under involvement and resources, we have a resource library here. And this is really a list of resources that we have on campus. Most of these will go ahead and take them to the external sites. So let's say if I click on student involvement, I'm going to go to the student involvement homepage. So it's just a quick way for students to get in touch with the contacts that they need without having to remember the website addresses, the names of the offices. They have it all listed here in this resource library. And go ahead and go back to that homepage. So now we can take a little bit of a deeper dive. We talked about tasks and alerts. So let's talk about what they are. So if I click on alerts here, I can see that Brooklyn Rater has 2 alerts. So any faculty member, any staff member, they can raise alerts on behalf of your student. And those alerts can be one of 2 things. One, it can be a form of praise, just kind of letting the student know that they're doing a really great job. And you can see this alert that I have here. It's for outstanding work. And I can see some additional comments that the instructor added for Brooklyn to read. But an alert can also be an indicator that there's some type of academic or social disengagement. So maybe the student has missed a few classes, maybe they're not engaged in the course, maybe they haven't purchased their course materials that they need. All of those might be indicators that maybe something is going on. So let's have that conversation and see if we can go ahead and connect them with what they need before it progresses into something that would really impact their academics. So you can see for Brooklyn, there is an alert raised for attendance concern. So this helps the student know about key indicators that are going on with their classes. Anytime an alert is raised on behalf of the student, a student success specialist is notified. And they are the ones that lead that interaction to have that conversation, to find out a little bit more, to find out why Brooklyn has missed a couple of classes. And then the tasks that we mentioned earlier, let me go back here to the home page. I'm going to go ahead and click on the tasks. You can see Brooklyn has 7. And those are those to-do items that the student is assigned from faculty or from staff members. So you can see here, Brooklyn needs to review her welcome letter. She needs to sign a confidentiality letter, and then she needs to schedule her first appointment with her mentor. So this is a great way to remind students about the one-off items that they may need to complete. So this could be related to their classes, maybe a program that they're in, maybe they're a part of the TRIO Student Support Services program. We can create those tasks for the student to complete. And then the last thing is I'm going to click on View Academic Dashboard. Perfect. So this is going to also give a quick view of basically a snapshot of the student's academics and the activities that are going on here in Rater Success Hub. Those alerts, those tasks, all of that is here. But one feature that's really important is that if a student, if their instructor is using Blackboard for classes, for exams, for assignments, we're able to have that listed here. So you can see for Brooklyn's classes, we have them listed here. And if the instructor was using Blackboard for assignments, for exams, those would all be listed here. So it just makes it a little bit easier where the student does not have to log into Blackboard, look in that class, find that specific assignment or that specific exam. It's all laid out here under their academic dashboard. In addition, if the instructor was using Blackboard to record absences, they would be listed here as well. So again, just a quick way for them to be able to view that information without having to log in and search for it in Blackboard. So I'm going to go back here to the home page. That is a lot of information. So I'm going to go ahead and check in with Rachel, see what questions we have, and we'll go from there.
Hi, Lauren. One of the questions that I saw come up in the Q&A, I thought was a really good one. If a alert is raised about a student for attendance concerns, does it just show up in the Rater Success Hub, or is there follow-up on that? What does that look like?
Sure. So for the student, they'll be able to see it here in the My Alerts table. But on the faculty and the staff side, there is a process that we go through. So the student success specialist will contact the student to have that initial conversation, find out what's going on. And it may be a situation where it's more appropriate for maybe financial aid to handle, maybe for their course instructor to take care of. So there might be a warm transfer where the student success specialist initiates a conversation between the student and the instructor, or the student and their financial aid advisor. It just depends what's going on with the specific student. And then all alerts will be resolved. So you can see here for Brooklyn, right now the alerts have a status of new. But as that alert progresses, we have a conversation, then it's resolved, the status is going to be updated as well. So the student will be able to see that it's a new alert, or maybe it's one that has been resolved because they have already had that conversation and they're already working on a solution with the other contact.
The nice thing about Raider Success Hub is that it's a really great place to go to if you don't know who else to reach out to, right? So chatting with somebody, asking them a question, finding the names of people who can help you. It's nice because you can find the name of a person, a name of an individual, and not just like a generic office. So that's one of my favorite things about Raider Success Hub. So there was a question about a student with anxiety, and he has not had anyone reach out. And you're trying to figure out what your role as a family or a family member is, or a parent. Is there a person I could speak to this, and do I have permission? Yes, you can reach out. We'll show here the chat for parent and family members is a great way to reach out to somebody. The goal of this platform is to just help us bring those conversations to the student, because it may be something that we don't know that your student might be struggling with. Anyone can raise an alert on a student, and one way that you as a parent or family member can do that is through this chat on the website. So the students have their own chat in their student portal, but we also have options here for parent and family members. You can see we even have a drop-down option specifically for parent and family members that you can reach out. Now, there is a limit to what kinds of information we can give back to you about that. That's a conversation that you would want to have, with your student, to let them know if you feel like you can have that conversation with them, like, hey, I talked to somebody, they said this is the person you need to, or hey, I've let them know, and your success specialist will be reaching out. We can't always let you know about what the status of that alert is, but you can raise an alert this way. Yeah, I can see you're chatting with Amelia.
Oh, sorry.
Lauren. Yeah. So this is live, this is real. Amelia is one of our success specialists. So she is very knowledgeable, trained in all things Texas Tech, all things student support, and can get you or your student connected to the exact office that they need.
Let's see. I think there's another one.
Oh, we have another question.
In order for a success specialist to communicate a concern with the student, the instructor would need to be reporting attendance or grades. So if an instructor does not take attendance, or they aren't reporting grades, the success specialist wouldn't know, right? Well, yes and no. Technically, no, we wouldn't be informed by the instructor, But we do have initiatives that we're working on to monitor students' progress to degree completion, their grades, the number of alerts that they have, whether it's in that one particular course or others. And so there are some other indicators that tell us that something may be going on with the student. And we are working on initiatives to make sure that we reach out to them to just make sure everything is going okay. Rachel, is there anything you wanted to say to expand on that? Okay.
No, that was great. And I was smiling Amelia's answers. I'm working on that for you. There were a couple questions in here about how parents access Rader Success Hub. Rader Success Hub is for students. You can see that we have a current student portal there on the homepage, that red button there, and our faculty and staff portal. So as a parent, you're not going to be able to log in and see all of the things that Lauren just demoed. That is for students. There is no parent login to the portal. What we have here is this chat as an option for you, but we wanted to demo it to you today, not to just tease you and say, look at all these things your student has access to, but more so that you were aware, so that when your student came to you with questions, you could guide them to their portal and help them through making an appointment or finding the resources through the knowledge chat, things like that. And no, this is not, and again, this is not a way for you to check grades. At Texas Tech, we don't have a way to access students' grades. That would be something that we would have to, have that conversation with your student and ask them about.
And another question, if a student has not registered, where do they get alerts through at this point? It sounds like, but please correct me if I'm wrong, if a student has not registered for classes, where would they get information about Rader Success Hub? I think maybe the question, or maybe not. Students who are incoming, they do receive information about Rader Success Hub through Red Rader orientation. If you're not a current student, you may not necessarily be able to log into Rader Success Hub to schedule appointments, to have alerts raised. Most of those features, you do have to be a current student. And so we do have groups that we work with across campus that promote Rader Success Hub, that make sure that they're prepared to use it before they even register for classes.
And to be clear, you don't have to register for Rader Success Hub. All current students automatically get access to Rader Success Hub 1 week prior to their Red Rader orientation session. You don't have to register for it. Now, if your student is incoming, like Lauren said, you have that Rader Connect portal that you use through the admissions process that you can use to monitor application status, register for events that the Office of Admissions has. So once you sign up for orientation, again, 1 week prior to your session, that's when you flip from the prospective student portal Rader Connect to Rader Success Hub for our current students. They have very different kinds of information, so that's why we have the two different portals. The notifications go to their email as well as seeing them in Rader Success Hub. So when we have an alert, they'll get an email notification to their Texas Tech email. And this is very important. All official communications from Texas Tech goes to their students' Texas Tech ttu.edu email address. So if your student's not in the habit of checking that email address, check it every day, multiple times a day. Add it to your phone so you get notifications on your phone when you get new emails. But yeah, it'll go to their Texas Tech email account. And other questions, these are great.
Yes, thank you for asking these questions. This has been very informative. I know that many times parents and families will call our office and ask, how does my student know who their advisor is? So now we know how to direct your student to answer that question. So that's been very, very helpful. Any other questions you have, please feel free and get those in the Q&A feature. We are kind of at the end of our time. However, we can stay on a little bit longer and answer those questions for you. Well, it looks like our questions have been answered. Please do know that you can follow up with our folks here at Rader Success Hub, or you can follow up with Parent and Family Relations should you have additional questions, and we'll be sure and get those answered for you. We also have another webinar coming up at the end of this week on Friday at noon with our study abroad folks. So we'd love to see you join that if your student's interested in doing study abroad. I'll follow up a little bit later today via email with a recording to this session, and we'll also be posting it on our webinars page. So once again, thanks everyone, and have a great rest of your day. And thanks to our presenters. This was really great information. Bye-bye, everybody.